Greetings everyone, and welcome to Ara History Untold, a complex 4X strategy game developed by Oxide Games. Build a nation on randomly generated maps, advance through human history and compete for supremacy, engage in diplomacy with your neighbors or fight wars, research new technology and improve your economy. The game is about to receive the massive update 1.4 that greatly enhances the map generation and AI systems, reduces micromanagement of your cities by automatically assigning goods, for example. It also greatly redefines the battle system and adds the living strategy view as the primary viewpoint for better understanding the map and all the things going on there. This is a sponsored video by Stardock Entertainment, and I like to show you gameplay of the latest patch. Don't forget to check out the link in the video description to learn more about Ara.
Tokugawa Ieyasu. Under your rule, the Japanese people have found unity and peace. They are prepared to follow your example of the new ways, ceasing the aimless wandering of the nomadic hunters and gatherers that came before. Yours is a bold vision, a world of unity and harmony only possible for one with your relentless ambition. With your wisdom and patience forged through countless trials, greatness is now within reach.
Alright, sounds promising. Let's start a new game, and yeah, here we are now in the middle of this map, and what we can see right away is that we do have a bit of space around us. That's great. We have bears around us, we have wolves, we have treasures that we can hunt, and in the center, well, we got a small settlement, and that's the Japanese people that are now settling in this region. As always, the beginning is just one of the most exciting things about this game, and yeah, we do have a scout unit that we can use as always to go ahead and scout and hopefully find us some treasures like this one down here. We could also engage in combat. We'll just see, you know, it depends on how strong these enemies are. Now, what we're also doing here right now, as you can see, is producing something in 3 turns. What is this about? Now, Ara has this very special crafting system at work where we're producing items that we can then use in our cities, for example, for units and so on. Right now we have Kyoto, our capital, our center, our very first settlement that we have, and in Kyoto we do have the Great Hearth building, which is now producing a feast. It's doing this on a loop, right, continuously, and it takes 3 turns to 4 turns to finish one of them. And we can also speed this up by using extra food, by using extra money. And if we do that, we can speed it up greatly, right? However, it also costs me, right? So I rather go with a balanced approach here. And we can say that we use both of these bonuses here to produce some feasts from time to time. Now, what we can see right now from my very first city is that we have a population of 1 that is now growing in 12 turns. We do have a bit of a food surplus, a bit of money, a bit of wood, and also a bit of materials. So these are my basic materials that we're gonna need. We're also producing some research points that we can use to advance to new techs. And then we can also see the quality of life. This is the most important aspect about this game, or about this settlement that we have right now. For every pop that we grow, we do lose some quality of life, right? And we need to try and keep this one up. Otherwise, we're getting into revolt status, and you don't want that, obviously. Now, also, we need to select a project for my very first village, and that is, let's have a look at that. We could get a spearman, we could get a new scout out, we could produce a farm, a dwelling, or a workshop. A dwelling is not important as we do have ample space, but I would actually really like to go for a farm. Yes, producing me more food adds more growth rating, right? And let's just see what we can do here. I probably would like to go for the biggest spot up here, where we have then a massive farm forming in 7 turns. Let's end the turn, actually. And as we can see, we're producing now a bunch of things. The game actually shows you this. That's pretty neat. And then we can go down here now to this treasure and gather it. This will take some time, right? We have also, spotted this one down here. There's something else. Of course, what we also want to look out for is potential sites to settle on, right? Where we can get the next city going, because we would really like to push this ASAP. Now, we're starting also with tech. As always, these games, in the beginning, there's a lot of things to manage. And we do have a lot of tech, in fact, to choose from. Since we have a lot of hunting grounds close by, I think animal husbandry could be my very first one. Here we get some meat out of that. We can get the butcher shop as an improvement that improves my harvest production. We also do get some prestige out of that, and it enables us, for example, horses that we can then use as well. So let's go ahead and get this one done. At the end of the turn, we have collected the cash for 15 material and continue onwards towards the wolves. We should also start with some hunting there. Alright, next turn, actually something very important happens, and that is that we finished the first feast. And yeah, the next one is already being produced now, right away. But we can use this feast now to push my city. And those feasts are really powerful, right? If you use one of them, it will last for 5 turns. And during these 5 turns, we do get city food. We get city growth, 25, and that's the most important thing out of this. And we also get some city happiness out of that I would like to enable. There you go. Select the next predators for some food and clothing. And we could also go for this one now. Yeah, I want to explore, actually. I want to find me in the next map. We have some grape down here. That looks promising for something that we can use. Also got some tools out of this one here. The tools, by the way, we could also use. I think, yeah, we do need a tier 3 city though, before we can use a second tool on that. Let's actually move down here and just see what we find. Animal husbandry has been researched. We get the plow that we can now craft, and we do have all these new animals coming in. So perhaps we can find them on the map now. Next hack, I'll probably go for archery to get me that early boost in units that I can then use. Oh, look at that. There is a tribe. That is something that is worthy my attention. That's the Morioka tribe. And yeah, they definitely do want to interact with us. We'll just see in what kind of way they want to interact with us. Now, this is cool. We have leveled up the city by 1 pop. And every time that happens, you can actually claim a new territory around the city. And this gives you bonuses, right? So we can see, for example, if we go into this area here, we actually get a very nice wealth boost, right? We get a nice food boost out of this. But wealth, that is interesting. I wonder why, because I can't see right now why that's the case for this area. Going into Sapporo gives me not only food and wealth, but also a lot of wood. And I probably would like to go for this one. With that out of the way, we're growing now a bit better with 8 food, and I think this should... Oh no, okay, we still don't have enough for the next settler. Next turn, we could produce the next settler. So I would probably like to queue in a spearman now, and then the settler afterwards, so that we get also our first units out of that. Let's gather the wealth down here, and also just find out what exactly we could also do in this area. Okay, this is a dead end, obviously, right? There's nothing else that we can do here. We're still gonna gather this wealthy hut there, and then, probably go over there, because we really, really want to find the next location to settle on. Turn 10 it is already. Time flies. And yeah, we have also gathered now this territory, and also get the resources out of that. The next feast has been finished, so it should be used automatically then in my slot there again. Alright, also, now, there it is, settler. Let's queue it in immediately, as I want to settle on the next island or the next territory. Finished scouting this one. Let's actually get all the way up there now with my scouts. Archery, very good, another unit, plus also 5 prestige that we're getting out of that. The next tack is actually, a bit tricky, honestly. I could go into grain storage, but I do not have... I mean, it would give me actually the bakery, which is very good for city health. The pottery is also nice because it gives me the ceramic pots that we can use to further boost my productivity. I think I'm pushing a bit more into growth right now, city growth. Well, food is just not enough. Look at that, it takes 26 turns right now to grow. Alright, got the spearman out, that's important. We can now, and this is interesting, right? The spearman is not being used immediately. We need to deploy it first. So we need to add it to a formation. We could add then several troops into one formation, which makes it then easy in combat to use them. And then we can deploy them. Deploying them takes another 4 turns. So this is not something it's going to be pushed ASAP. What I really love also about this game are the details, right? If you're zooming in real close, you see way more things. All the improvements that we've built so far. Over here we got the farm. People doing their job. There's smaller rivers everywhere. Lovely. Fantastic details. Alright. Next turn. I really would like to push. We are neglecting those animals there right now. So there is a herd of wolves. A pack of wolves, right? So even these animals are animated on the map. Lovely to see. The next feast has been finished. That's great. So we could potentially use now 2 feasts, I think, in 2 cities at the same time. Alright. Yeah, 5 more turns we have. We need to find a location. Herbalism, fermenting. Now we can go for the pottery. Alright, my forces are ready. Oh yeah, we have finished the spearmen. We can use them now to go on some slaughtering. Right, so this one has a strength of 10. And we can now hunt down those wolves. And this looks like a good location here, by the way. So we got the mandrake plants, our special resource. If we have a farm here, we can harvest it. And we also get a copper deposit. If we have a stone pit improvement, we can use this to get copper, silicates, and materials out of this. That sounds like a very good location for a city. Next turn, there's some fighting now going on. Just look at how the units actually scale with my level of zooming. Oh, and there's an event, the Forest Fort.
Boy, no older than 16 enters your court, springing with excitement. He explains that he and his friends were climbing trees, and while sitting atop a giant oak, he spotted a raised and unnaturally round hill and smoke, as though from a campfire rising in the distance. He requests support to safely investigate.
Okay, there's even a bit of history behind that. And we can now say, okay, arm the boy and his friends, or send a scout. The thing is, I need my scout right now, so I'm gonna arm the boy and his friends. And this reduces my security for a while, for 10 turns in my capital. But it would then give me, is this right? Lithic tools and baskets. Let's go ahead with this. It's probably not the best idea to arm the boys, but what can you do about that? Also, we have unlocked our very first Paragon. So we have the option here to specialize ourselves into different areas, right? We have Nasi here. He, if we assign him as a chief advisor, he would increase the growth in my cities. I like this already. If we use, for example, here Thak as a chief advisor, we will get build production in all cities. And this guy here gives me science per turn per turn. Yeah. So growth in all cities sounds like a very good thing to me right now. I'm not really going into military stuff right now because I don't expect a big war anytime soon. So let's go ahead with this and advise. We'll get him actually into the chief advisor position, boosting now my growth by 10%. And this counts for all cities. That's gonna be pretty great, I think. Alright, let's get clear of these wolves because I think we found a suitable location. Look at that, there's also limestone. And there's also corn. So this is gonna be a powerhouse city. I can see this already. There's lots of juicy materials. Also a nice mountain in the back to protect us. Sounds lovely. And access to the ocean. Looks like paradise, honestly. Cleared the predators for a bit of food. And look at that. My soldiers barely lost health there. So we could use them right away to clear the next area. Probably the cougar over there. The thing is, right, they can become aggressive and attack you. And I certainly don't want to risk that. So let's clear them. Also, we got some fur that we can then use once again. By the way, we're still using that feast. Yes, we are.
Your advisors approach you in confusion. A local tribe has provided 2 stories of their origin, but your scholars question the veracity of both. The first founding myth tells of a great prince born from a wild beast. The second tells of a foreigner who came to save the land. What should they record?
Oh, okay, another decision for the for the tribe that we have down there. Record the beast-born prince myth, or record the foreign prince myth, or deny both. This actually reduces my relationship, which is not ideal. So we're gonna use some timber, the beast-born prince myth, to use that, and this pushes my relationship a bit further. And the higher the relationship, the better, because they might join us at some point. That is something I can definitely use for my empire. Okay, the spearmen are on the way. As you can see, also they can level up. So right now we're level 1 and they're gathering experience points now based on the amount of stuff they're doing. Pottery, very nice. This increases my city cap, which is just on time really for us to settle that next city. Now what we can see here is right now we have now advanced in enough tax that we are able to progress to the next era, right? So we could now go into the bronze era if I really want to go for it already. We could also finish some other tax first. I think herbalism and rope making are both very important, especially rope making here since we're close to the ocean, right? This also unlocks me fishing. So let's go ahead and get the rope making going as well. All right. What should we do with that scout? I think we're done. Oh, yeah. Let's actually just gather stuff right now because we already found the location where we want to settle. My settler has been finished in turn 20. Very nice. And let's get my settler all the way over there now. Gonna take some time. And once it's reached, we should be fine. The spearmen have been injured. Should be fine though still, hopefully. And Kyoto is ready for the next project. I love this. So we can now decide, look at that. In each territory, there's smaller subsections where we can decide what we want to build over there, right? So you can really dabble into city development here, in city management. So I can say that this is the city core, and I definitely want to have nice buildings around that, right? The farm eventually will move. And you know what? I'm still totally into farming, so I'm gonna build me another farm over there now. We can also go for a granary, which gives me city health then. And yeah, city security is really down right now. That's of course because of the event. But let's get the farm going here. And then for Kyoto itself, so let's select Kyoto again. I would like to go for the next project then, which is an archer, right? So we can also queue this one in. And then I probably would like to go for the granary that I'm gonna do here. Beside the farms. Okay, the next predator has been cleared, and this actually got me a feast right away, plus food and fur. Yeah, let's actually heal those units right now, because they've been pretty much damaged by these predators, right? Let's get my troops over there. We also gathered some oil over there, and I can use my scout now to also get up there, and we'll just see what we can find. Rope making, just perfect. This is gonna be important for later, not right now though. Yeah, let's also go for herbalism. This, I think we're just gonna finish all the tags before we're doing anything else. Okay, we have reached this location now, and I think that's my next city, right? So we can now go ahead and settle. It's a very good rating on this one, right? And yeah, we got some food, some wealth out of this. Food is the important thing here. The rest we're getting then from the surrounding area. This will take a turn, and then we have gotten ourselves the next settlement. And there you go. Urawa has been founded. A new city. And yeah, this one here we can use right away with another feast. So we do have a bunch of feasts available right now. Let's get this one in immediately to boost its growth rating, right? And then we can also choose one of these smaller thingies up here to get us something going. Like, for example, a farm. I think it doesn't really matter how big the farm is, right? It's still going to produce us. So the farm here would make sense to me. I mean, not really, because it's a very tiny area. But it makes sense to me, strategically speaking, for my city. Okay, also, I think Kyoto leveled up. Yes, Kyoto leveled up. We have a new claim. And I think I'm gonna go for Yokohama up there. It's got the perfect traits to grow my city further. Alright, also, Urawa has also gotten its gathering hall. And the gathering hall, as we know, can actually craft us something. So the feast is already produced in Kyoto. So I think I'm gonna go ahead with the jewelry here, right? That we start. Right now, it would take 167 turns to finish this. So we could use some of my wealth to boost this to 5 turns only, but it costs me 10 coin per turn, right? So we basically have no coin left then. However, it would give me city happiness and prosperity in the respective city. So right now I probably would like to do this, because this way we could use then the next slot. Even though we do have the baskets that we can equip in Kyoto. So let's actually produce it for a couple of turns.
Founders of your nation's newest city look to you for advice. They hope to build into the city's foundation a guiding principle, one that will chart its destiny. In this case, literally. Masons stand by awaiting your direction. What word should be carved into the cornerstone of the gathering hall?
Honor, victory, and tradition. This one gives me knowledge, tradition, which in turn boosts my research. I would like to do this. The game also tells you where you're standing right now, so we are in a good spot, memorable right now, but not the last ones by far, at least. With the scouts, I continue all the way up here into the north now, finding us another slot to settle on. I finished all the tags that I'm interested in, so I'm gonna now push forwards bronze working, and this will take quite some time though. Urawa leveled up, that was quick, right? And yeah, we can now decide where we want to go for. So the ocean tiles usually give you, yeah, some food and wealth, though it's less food than I expected. Kochi over there is pretty interesting because we got the limestone that we cannot use right now, but we got the corn improvement here with the farm. This would actually lead to something, right? So I'm inclined to go for this one for my next one. And we're building a farm right now. I'm inclined to actually cancel this one, honestly, and just create me a new farm that we can now have then over here once this one has been developed, right? So this is probably my way to go here to get the bonus immediately. By the way, for scouting, this is a huge forest area over there, which is great, of course, because this gives me another city area probably over there. I would still like to find me some resources though. Okay, let's go ahead and build me that farm here. This takes another 19 turns now. It's not going to be that much, of course, because we constantly increase production right now. Also, we finished the archers. Let's get them into formation and deploy them. That is great for us because it allows me to once again hunt even more.
Invitation arrives at the capital. It seems the son of the tribe's chieftain is getting married, and everyone in the nearby lands are invited to the celebration. Along with the desire for your presence to participate in the revelry, there is a humble request in deference of your wealth and resources to contribute to the festivities.
Alright, once again with the tribe. Gives me a nice relation boost here. Attend with a gift of food and drink. 50 food is a lot though. Bless the young couple. This gives me, yeah, just one relationship, but it only cost me 25. I'm gonna go with this because we wanna train the next settler soon. And I cannot afford that much food. Also, we're at the maximum anyway now, right? So that's fine. Okay, these units we are going to heal. And in Kyoto, I would like to train my next settlers after finishing the granary. I'm actually inclined to move the settlers to the front, honestly. You can do this, right? Let's actually train the settlers now, right? I want to go ahead with this. Okay, the archers are being mustered. Thank you very much for this. And scouting-wise, let's move up here. We still need to find also another civilization, right? To start with some trading there. Okay, oh, look at that. They're gone. Tribe joined. The Morioka has joined the nation. 1,500 new citizens have arrived in Kyoto. They also bring with them 5 metal tools that we can use to boost harvest production at the improvement or crafting production. Super nice, right? That is a nice boost. Also, it frees this area here for another city that would have the grape production going. So this looks really cool. Gonna avoid the wolves up there, by the way, and there it looks like there is something happening. So I wanna scout this one. The archers should be coming out next turn. Let's end the turn. Cache discovered. Troops have been healed. Let's go for the wolves over there. And I think also Kyoto leveled up, of course, with those. And look at that, we're at the last pop now. So I probably should also queue in dwellings. And I would like to do this, of course, right next to the city center, somewhere here, right? So that we start a bigger city in this area then as well. Claim-wise? Claim-wise, we have options. There's no special material anywhere, though. I like Osaka because, first of all, we get the ocean access here now, which Kyoto still doesn't have, right? It also gives me lots of food and lots of wealth, and both of them are very important, especially my food to still continue with the growing. So let's actually go for this one, and then we can grow towards that ocean now. That should be fine. The scouts continue, and we can actually end the turn. And there it is. We have found someone. We have found Leopold I of Belgium. And we could offer him a gift right away. Let's say we want to give him a feast, because we do have a lot of them. This improves my relationship with him. And next turn we'll find out if he accepts. So I wonder if this is if this is Belgium. He's coming here. Oh, this is not good. You can actually cross in this area. I thought we had a good strategic position there. It's not. Probably gonna use my archers to move over there now. Freshly deployed and trained archers. And yeah, with that, we conclude the first episode of Ara History Untold. Also with the latest patch now that, yeah, makes the game a bit more appealing, visually speaking as well. And yeah, don't forget to check out the link in the description as well to check it out as well. And we continue onwards in the next episode with, yeah, more expansion and hopefully not a war with Belgium. Stay tuned.